Hello everyone, welcome to Study IQ English. Let's talk about an interesting topic from GS Paper 3, Science and Technology, Space Technology, as we look into Chandrayaan-4. Now, Chandrayaan-4 is a significantly more advanced mission as compared to its predecessor, Chandrayaan-3. Why? Because this one now aims at returning about 2 to 3 kgs of lunar soil and rock samples from the south pole of the moon back to the earth for research and investigation. And if you remember, the previous mission, Chandrayaan-3, had achieved the distinction of achieving soft landing near the lunar south pole, making India the first country to do so, and the fourth country globally to achieve a soft landing on the moon. And if you remember, we had called the point as Shiv Shakti point, the site of lander, that is the Vikram lander touching down or landing down near the south pole of the moon. So the point of touchdown became the Shiv Shakti point for us. Today we are examining, after such a big achievement, what will be different about Chandrayaan-4 and what are we trying to achieve through this mission, coming at a perfect time as we are looking at India becoming the Viksit Bharat by 2047, already the fourth largest economy, overtaking Japan recently. So now let's understand how ISRO has already identified, it's been done, already identified the landing site for Chandrayaan-4. Now, the Chandrayaan-4 mission is approximately going to be launched in 2028, okay? And since we have already identified the landing site for the mission, this is very, very crucial because remember, this is India's the first lunar sample return mission to India that is going to bring back samples from moon back to the earth. Now, in one of my classes, I had asked you a question. I'll ask you again. What do you call lunar soil? What's that one word given to soil from the moon? Do let me know in the comment box. Now, coming back to Chandrayaan-4 mission, this is also projected to land near lunar south pole, the south pole of the moon. And the landing site is in an area that is known as Mons Mountain region, okay? Mons Mountain region. Earlier, 4 possible sites were examined, including from MM1 to MM5, but eventually it was MM4 that was selected as the most suitable, the most relevant site for Chandrayaan-4 landing. And why does this area that we just talked about matter so much? Why has it been selected for landing? Why? Because in this area we see permanently shadowed regions. That means they may have some evidence of water ice. Some kind of frozen water may be found here, and the south pole region of the moon is therefore, it has always remained to be a major focus of global lunar exploration. Why the south pole? Because it's a totally shadowed area. There's a high chance that we will find frozen water samples from here, and that could also indeed boost up the investigation that's in general done about lunar atmosphere, lunar soil, lunar land surface. That's why. Now, what kind of technology has ISRO been using? So, ISRO has taken data from orbiter high resolution camera. High resolution images have been taken to try to understand the surface hazard, what kind of dangers may be present at the time of landing. Then slope. What is the structure of this area, the morphology of the area, and altitude, elevation. All these have been examined with relation with the south pole of the moon, because now that's where Chandrayaan-4 is going to land. What is the significance of this mission in short? Well, the biggest significance is going to be that it is the first lunar sample return mission by India. In past, we have seen so many space achievements by India. If you remember, we had spoken about the Space Dex mission. We spoke about the Nisar mission. I already told you how Chandrayaan-3 made India the only country to achieve this kind of a soft landing, that too in the lunar south pole. Today, the time has come to bring back samples for much better understanding of everything related to moon as a celestial body. So now it also strengthens India's planetary exploration capacity. At the same time, you might have noticed how in the budget this time, the budget for 2026, we have allocated a good amount of money for space missions, space indigenization, as well as more private cooperation, more private participation in the space segment, quite like we have done in the nuclear domain with the Shanti Bill. Ultimately, we always talk about Atmanirbharta, self-reliance, and therefore the Chandrayaan-4 will also give us exact scientific data on Moon's south pole environment. Then, early landing site identification will enable much better planning for upcoming missions and a better navigation design. Now, do not forget, as we are talking about this Chandrayaan-4 mission, that recently in the news we have also revised about Axiom-4 mission. We had spoken about how India's own astronaut, Mr. Subhanshu Shukla, who went as a part of Axiom-4 mission in a crewed flight to the International Space Station. In the news, we have discussed how time is now getting over for the duration of International Space Station, and now most of the space exploration agencies, including NASA, Roscosmos, European space agencies, are saying we will take services from private companies. Already there is a company in America which has now started creating a more compact International Space Station. Yes? So what's the name of that company? Do let me know in the comment box. We have spoken about it already. So now the time has come for newer interventions in space domain. More commercial space flights, as well as a fresh new International Space Station, which again will be created through private manufacturing. Okay? And do not forget how India is also doing so much human testing, human rating. Why is it being done? Because now we are examining all the safety protocols as we soon plan to launch the Gaganyaan mission, the first human crewed mission from India. And Axiom, therefore, was also an eye-opener for that, okay? So do not forget these things, very important for UPSC. Now you can see in the image here, the broad picture of Chandrayaan-4. Now Chandrayaan-4 has multiple modules. Yes? In the past, in our classes on science and technology, we have been talking about modules as well as payloads. If you remember, I have in detail taken a lecture on Aditya L1 payload. We have spoken about many other Indian missions, conducted through the PSLV and what kind of modules were they using. Today, we are looking at the module of Chandrayaan-4. What equipment does it boast of? So here you see propulsion module, but then special are the descender and ascender module. Why? Because the descender and the ascender module will be the ones that will land on the moon and collect the samples and return them back to the planet. So these two are the most important. Then there are other like transfer module, ultimately re-entry module to bring all these samples safely back to the earth. Now this also reminds me of how in detail we have spoken about redundancy systems, and I clearly remember I was discussing this in the Hindu newspaper class in the morning as we were discussing the Nisar mission, as we were discussing the Axiom mission. Plus we have done special study of the synthetic aperture radar. Why am I repeating? Because all these are crucial inputs for the prelims exam that's coming up. So make sure you revise them. Now coming back to Chandrayaan-4. So remember, when it comes to collecting and taking the samples, we have the descender and ascender module, but re-entry module is equally important because only then will these samples be received back on the planet. After all, our future research and our future investigation totally depends on that. So as we look on to the Chandrayaan-4 mission, indeed India is every year making newer feats when it comes to the space domain. A quick practice question for you here. With reference to Chandrayaan-4 mission, consider these statements. 1. It is India's first mission aimed at returning samples from the moon back to the earth. Second, the selected landing site lies in the Mons Mountain region near the moon south pole. And 3, the descender module and the ascender module will operate as a combined stack, as a combined unit rather, during the lunar landing phase. Which of these statements are valid? Now, if you have understood the topic, it's an easy question, but for the answer, you may have to visit the Telegram channel, because by now, most of my students do, that all the discussion, all the, current affair discussion, answer, and all the new UPSC practice questions are being shared on the Telegram community. So you can use the scan code and definitely be a part of the community. And before I take your leave, now today is 10th of February. We are beginning a batch for UPSC 2026 Prelims, one of the last and final calls for those who will write the Prelims this year, a course that provides GS1 and CSAT in complete detail at a price of only $4999 with maximum discount possible if you use my code SPLIVE. But whether you are applying for this course, which you should because price is very affordable right now, or whether you want to study for UPSC 2027 or 2028, the bigger announcement is that we are announcing rank booster sale. Now for all our students who are writing exam this year or the next year or in 28, celebrating the upcoming prelims exam, we announce one of the mega sales for the year, rank booster sale. What's so special? The sale comes to you at a flat 50% off on all the courses. Yes, flat 50% off. Now that's a big announcement. So which means whether 27 or 28 or whether this year prelims, if you join now, it's a limited time offer. It's a limited time offer. If you join by using code SPLIVE, you can get a discount even more than 50%, and I will join you in your preparation journey. Together we will and together we can make your UPSC a big success. Yes? So remember, it's for English, Hindi and bilingual aspirants, all of you. So do join and do boost your chances of selection. Thank you.